In the West, we sort of pretend it's not really happening. We hide it from our children. We lie about it. We don't embrace this thing, and yet it's actually the only thing in life guaranteed. People say it's death and taxes, but people avoid taxes all the time. Death to me is one of the great mysteries of the universe, of life. And we live in the West like it's life versus death. But if you think about it, death is not the opposite of life. Death is the opposite of birth. My name's Helen Callanan, and I'm the founder and co-owner and lead educator for Preparing the Way, end-of-life doula training. And I'm actually an end-of-life doula as well. Preparing the Way is an organisation that trains end-of-life doulas. So Preparing the Way was started in 2014 because I saw all the gaps, and I just saw how much doula can bridge the gaps in the conventional care system and bring a lot more comfort and support and education.
I'm Shannon Beresford. I'm an end-of-life doula, and I'm also the chair of Held Australia. A doula, or doula, the word doula is an ancient Greek word. So originally it meant a female slave that actually helped in the household. In a modern day context, it really means to be of service. I like to say that doulas help support the first breath and the final breath, and everything else in between. We provide this heartfelt work that encompasses emotional, spiritual, physical, relational support, and really we are there ideally for that entire journey to help make the transition to death and beyond as easy as possible.
A long-standing misconception is that doulas are often, sage sticks and crystals and a lot of woo-woo, where in reality doulas are incredibly practical. My name's Ben Gibson. I'm an end-of-life doula. I'm a holistic funeral director. I'm a funeral celebrant. I guess for me, I always had a curiosity around death and dying from a young age. Pre-death, when I'm meeting with people to look at their own end-of-life plan and what their wishes are, there are, faith, belief, spirituality, which are all considerations. No two families or dyings that I come across are ever the same. There's always these nuanced pieces. Things like, if I lose consciousness, is it important that I have a quiet room, or would I prefer music playing? Am I happy with visitors? If so, how many visitors? One thing that people often will tell you is if there's certain people they don't want there. I think being able to normalize the dying experience is really important, and provide people reassurance that, within themselves, humans have an innate capacity to support their own at death.
People have been doulaing for centuries, and it's only been more recently that we have created formalised training.
So my name is Hutton, and I'm a Director and Chief Finance Officer at Preparing the Way, and I'm also co-owner along with Helen. Yep, so the Cert 4 has to, because it's an accredited, Australian accredited course, is delivered through Essential Skills. Each unit has got quite rigorous assessments where you have performance criteria, so that's why we have to do role plays to actually see, yes, this person can do that adequately. There's things that prepare people to be an end-of-life doula, such as what would you have in your end-of-life doula kit if you were, say, working with after-death care, after-death body care. Where would you buy the goods? How much would it cost you? So it's all really, really practical tools to be working as an end-of-life doula.
And one of the things we actually say to people is, let's talk about what your goals are. Why do you think a Cert 4 is the answer to your doula pathway? Because the truth is, our non-accredited training, the foundation workshop and the 4-day intensive, until the Cert 4, people were doing that training and then going out and working as a doula. So it's not necessary, but people do it because they want to either deepen their own skills or to work in an aged care facility or a hospital. You need a piece of paper. And so some people are doing it simply to get the qualification behind them and the training that that brings.
It's getting better known, but I think having that Cert 4 gives credibility in that mainstream space.
At the moment, there is no formal requirement as such.
We've had direct feedback from specialist palliative care, various practitioners within that, Palliative Care Australia Direct. We've had feedback that because there's no regulatory body, it's difficult to refer to an end-of-life doula, because if there's an end-of-life doula or like any practitioner that is not operating ethically, where does the buck stop? And do I wish it wasn't so? Yeah, but however, it is how it is, and we've got to learn to work within the system. But that doesn't mean everybody has to. If you want to do community home-based stuff, great, go do that. That's needed too.
Clinicians are truly believing that they provide 100% of the care, 100% support, all the emotional, physical, spiritual support that's needed, and they don't. The truth is they don't.
Most people need medical and nursing care at end of life. The majority of people will have palliative care at some point. We are not in competition to that. We're not providing that. We're non-medical, non-clinical. So we are about bridging the gaps. Gaps like we can sit down at the kitchen table and have the extended conversations about what options are. We can be emotionally supporting people. We can help people with their cultural or spiritual needs in the family. We can help mediate in the family and help explain what's going on. Why? Because we have more time.
We're about to have all the baby boomers come through, which will quadruple our deaths over the next 20, 30 years, even beyond. Our current settings and supports can't cope with that, so we have to start thinking outside the box. And doulas are not the entire solution by any means, but we are part of a solution that can really help and impact. You know, there's a huge workforce available that can actually step in and provide some of that really needed support.
I want to see doulas everywhere. I want to see doulas travelling with the police. I want to see doulas with ambos. I want to see doulas in the fire department. I want to see doulas everywhere suicide is. I want to see doulas in every aged care facility, hospital, emergency department. I want to see doulas where people are in pain and are suffering and are struggling and are scared. I want to see doulas everywhere. If I had my way in the world, every person would have these conversations around their kitchen tables. They would share what their preferences are, what their wishes are, what their likes are, what they would want, what they wouldn't want. And they would share that and document it. They would have advanced care directives. They would have advanced care plans.
It's going to happen to all of us. It's the one common denominator for every single person on earth. So why not have control, choice, plan as much as we plan other life events?
You don't want the people that you care about in the middle of their grief having to make a decision about what to do with someone they love.
To have to be in that shock and pain and grief and then have to scramble around making up what you think they want, it's avoidable pain. It's avoidable pain. To know what your person wants and be able to provide that support and care for them after their death, that is such a gift to give to your family who care about you. Because no matter how it occurs, death rocks people's worlds.